operations for buses, for cars, for bikes are going to change in the next 40 years. The dust cement is going to be there. I think we need to, almost out of time. Metro hasn't been clear on the numbers. We keep pushing for it. The council is adamant that this island comes first and that we want to make sure islanders have the safest possible way to get on and off this island, as well as making sure that visitors come here have the safest experience here. We need to hold to the south side drop-off on North Mercer Way. We need to limit the layover times. We need to limit the duration of your stay. So absolutely need to hold to that agreement and make sure that we can get the optimal outcome for all of us now as this event is poured and down the road as operations change for all those different users of the North End. It's complicated, it's interconnected, it's short-term and it's long-term.
Do we have any more questions? We have time for one more.
Hi, Sue Roboy from the South End. I served on part of the Aubrey Daniels master plan work and heard subsequently in focus groups and other things that citizens really do not want that Lid Park basically paved over. We want to keep it green. So wondering where you stand on that issue and what you would do going forward.
Parks are our greatest resource, so absolutely want to keep our parks green and safe and enjoyable for all of our users. I think the difference, the bike path is what I'm concerned about. I want to make sure that whatever bike path changes and improvements are coming are meeting the safest safety standards we have that match with WashDOT safety standards. That means separating walkers from bikers from fast bikers, right? With all the different people using that path, we need to make sure whatever cement is coming there over the next 50 or 60 years, or however long it takes to implement that plan, as we change it every 20 years, the standards that we have there are what will be there when we make improvements or when our regional partners do, when they put in new sewer lines or upgrade natural gas lines or upgrade telecommunication lines. Whatever that standard is that we have, whoever is doing the work has to replace it to the safest standards that we can for all of the users that are going to be there. That is my intent with making sure that whatever paths are there are the safest for all the users that are using.
Yes, thank you. First and foremost, I am supportive of putting our parks in a trust. That's just a general statement. But specifically for Aubrey Davis, I think that the park as it stands is really pretty great. I know we have some challenges with the vegetation that's there in terms of how long it's not living very well right now. So we need to find some solutions to make sure that the vegetation that we have there is cost effective to maintain over time, and it continues to keep the place green. I know that there's a lot of things that came up in the Aubrey Davis planning process that wanted to evolve that park quite substantially, and I don't think that that is the direction that we should go with it. I would be looking for very simple and cost-effective solutions, and I also think we need to go back to WSDOT and ask them for renegotiate the funding we receive for the maintenance in that area as well. Thank you.
So now we're going to have closing statements from each candidate. John, you're going to go first. For the closing statements, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Make no mistake, this election has consequences. Wendy and I offer Islanders a choice in this election. Her vision and direction is more towards the regional priority focus, and my focus is solely on the Mercer Island community. Ensuring the city is efficient and well-managed is required to deliver essential services, starting with public safety, infrastructure, and economic development. On the City Council, I'll provide my experience and support to help the city manager execute on these priorities. 450-page agendas need to go away. I think you'll agree. Reducing the number of items that are in work. This was mentioned in the last discussion. The amount of items that are just simply coming before the public is overwhelming at times. And we shouldn't have to work that hard as a group of citizens to know what our government is doing. And if we want to earn trust, that's one of the surest ways to do it. Ensuring our safety is also an essential aspect of my priorities. The changes brought by light rail and bus integration, as well as homelessness, which we didn't get to tonight, must be managed carefully to ensure that and not let regional pressures prevent Mercer Island from acting in its best interest while also ensuring that we treat people with the kindness and respect and compassion they deserve. Infrastructure needs our attention. We need to implement data-driven maintenance programs so our water, sewers, and roads are in a condition that is safe and serving the community. There's concerns we'll need significant investment, and I want to start from the data before coming to the citizens with more money. Finally, we need a thriving town center that provides easy access to a diverse set of businesses. Our development code is over-indexed to residential density and threatens our current businesses who have been treated routinely as an ATM machine and not partners. If you agree with my priorities and vision, I humbly ask for your vote, and I appreciate your time and attendance this evening. Thank you.
All right, so thank you all for being here tonight and staying till the bitter end. This election does matter, and the future is coming. So we have a lot of difficult challenges ahead of us. We also have a lot of great opportunities ahead of us. The times they are changing, and we need some city staff in place that can help us work through this. Your city council is 7 individuals with families, with jobs, with other commitments. We need to work together. We need to have staff that can work with us to do the homework, to work with the laws and the regulations we have on the books, and to help us manage the future going forward. So with land use, transportation, environmental protections, this is a critical time because, like I said earlier, with 1.8 million more people coming to the region, we are at ground zero for all of those issues that matter so much. We need to preserve our quality of life. We need to make sure our parks and open spaces are taken care of. We need to make sure our aging infrastructure is invested in. We need to make sure that our first responders are right here and ready to go on island. Should we have a natural disaster, we're needing to be resilient here at home and also rely on our regional partners. We are an island, we are not isolated. We have to take care of ourselves, we have to take care of each other, and we have to rely on the larger ecosystems to help us do that with transportation, with housing, with healthcare, with jobs. I appreciate the time that I've had to serve on this council and try to represent all of you and represent Mercer Island with our regional partners and with all of the community groups and all of the very important issues that all of us islanders care about. Some of us one more than others, some all of them. They are complicated, interconnected, historic, and future coming. We have to work together to get there. It's all about partnerships. It's not islander versus regionalist. It's all of us having to grapple with the future, with the reality and the facts and the laws and the changes that are here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. I look forward to working with you in the next 4 years to help us get moving forward and do right by this town. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Whitney. I'd like to thank you both for coming tonight. I also want to thank you, community, for showing up and for your awesome questions and your attention. I'd like to thank the Mercer Island Beach Club for generously allowing us to use their facilities tonight. And I'd like to thank Orna for all of her efforts in organizing these events. And before I dismiss you, I just want to tell you that normally we have these events at this venue and they are free to us. This year we had to pay for one of our venues, so we have a little basket out front if you'd like to donate to our worthy cause, because we're just islanders who are putting this together because we want to hear about what the candidates have to say. We are not some big organization. So if you'd like to contribute, that's great. And otherwise, we hope to see you at future events, because I think these are really important ways for us to learn about our candidates and our community. Oh, and please help us put the chairs away. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, picture, good?